You kept every mistake you made over the last 5 years, but erased every gesture of love you gave in the past week. Why? There is an invisible counter running in your mind. It records every clumsy word, every disproportionate reaction, every moment when you didn't live up to the expectations you created for yourself. It works with surgical precision, never forgets, never forgives. Each failure is archived with photographic detail, ready to be revisited whenever insecurity knocks on the door asking for proof of your inadequacy. But this same counter is strangely blind to everything you gave of yourself. The patience you had, the times you chose to stay when you could have left, the moments when you were generous, present, welcoming. We call this the silent inventory, the obsessive mental list of our mistakes in relationships. It's a file the mind keeps permanently open, always ready to be consulted as definitive proof that we are insufficient. What's curious is that this accounting is completely one-sided. We record our failures with the rigor of a tax audit, but our qualities barely appear as faded footnotes, easily forgotten, always questionable. Why do we do this? Because the human brain has an ancestral negativity bias. From an evolutionary standpoint, remembering danger saved lives. Forgetting a threat could mean death. But today, that same mechanism traps us in an unbalanced narrative. That argument from months ago still pulses alive in memory. You remember the tone of voice you used, the expression on the other person's face, the feeling of having crossed an invisible line you shouldn't have crossed. But the 1,000 gestures of care that came before and after, those dissolve like smoke. They leave no trace. They don't score points. They don't weigh on the internal scale you use to judge yourself in the relationships you build. A person with a healthy self-esteem also makes mistakes, also fails, also disappoints. The difference is that they don't turn every stumble into evidence of an essential flaw, a factory defect that makes them unworthy of love. They know that making mistakes is part of being alive, not of being insufficient. That saying the wrong thing in a moment of exhaustion doesn't erase months of presence. That a disproportionate reaction doesn't cancel all the patience they've already shown. The silent inventory grows because you feed only one side of the equation. Each new mistake is added to the growing pile of evidence against yourself. But each success, that's quickly discarded as the bare minimum, basic obligation. This distortion isn't accidental. It's a protection the mind created. If you remember only what you did wrong, theoretically, you'll be more prepared not to repeat it. But in practice, this only creates a paralyzing loop of self-criticism. You begin to relate from fear. Fear of making mistakes again. Fear of confirming what the inventory has already confirmed, that you're not good at this, that you always mess things up, that it's only a matter of time before you disappoint again. And the more fear you feel, the more you monitor yourself. The more you monitor yourself, the more imperfections you detect. The more imperfections you detect, the more the inventory grows. A self-feeding cycle, endless, relentless, with no possibility of real redemption. The cruelest part of this mechanism is that it doesn't motivate improvement. It motivates paralysis. Because when you believe you are fundamentally flawed, every attempt to do better comes loaded with a prophecy of imminent failure, one that fulfills itself through the very tension it creates. Maybe the question isn't, why do I make so many mistakes in my relationships? But rather, why is that all that matters when I take stock of who I am to the people I love? The silent inventory never closes because you never allowed it to be reviewed honestly. You keep a merciless record of your imperfections while demanding from yourself a perfection you would never require from anyone around you. What if you started recording the other side too? Not to inflate your ego or deny real responsibilities, but to see the full truth. You are someone who makes mistakes and gets things right, who fails and tries, who disappoints and also welcomes. Recognizing this isn't arrogance, it's justice.
It's stopping being the harshest judge of a life that also has beauty, even if imperfect. It's allowing the inventory to reflect reality. You are not only your failures.